In the last episode, Alex, Lyrien, and Elara received a cryptic message from their ally that set them on a perilous quest to uncover the hidden archives within the ancient Eldrid ruins. The message hinted at the existence of forgotten technology that could change the course of their world, Aethereia. With a newfound sense of purpose, Alex led the charge into the mystical realm of Nefaria. As I stepped out of the hideout, the scorching sun of Nefaria's twin suns hit me like a hammer, casting long shadows across the dusty terrain. The air reeked of ozone and smoke, a constant reminder of the realm's volatile nature. Lyrien fell into step beside me, her eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of danger. Elara walked on my other side, her hand on the hilt of her sword, her gaze fixed on the ancient ruins in the distance. We trekked across the wasteland, our boots kicking up clouds of reddish dust. The Eldrid ruins loomed before us, a sprawling complex of crumbling spires and toppled statues. I could feel the weight of history bearing down on me, the whispers of a long-lost civilization echoing through the stillness. A strange energy emanated from the ruins, like the hum of a dormant machine. I sensed that we were not alone, that unblinking eyes watched us from the shadows. As we approached the entrance, a figure emerged from the dust cloud. Aethereia, the enigmatic leader of the secretive organization that guarded the ruins, stood before us. Her piercing gaze seemed to bore into my very soul. "What do you want, Alex?" she asked, her voice husky and confident. I swallowed hard, trying to find my voice. "We're here for the archives." "We need to uncover the secrets of Eldrid." Aetheria's expression remained inscrutable. "I can help you, but it won't come cheap. You must prove your worth to me, to my organization." I hesitated, unsure of what lay ahead. "What do you want from us?" "A task," she replied, a hint of a smile playing on her lips. "Complete it, and it'll grant you access to the archives." I nodded, a spark of determination igniting within me. "We're in." Aetheria's smile grew, and she vanished into the dust, leaving us to ponder our next move. "We can't trust her," Elara said, her voice low and urgent. "I know," I replied, "but we can't afford to ignore her either. We need her help to get to the archives." Lyrien nodded in agreement. "Let's see what she has in store for us." As we followed Aethereia into the unknown, the stakes grew higher, and I began to realize that our journey was only just beginning. The fate of Ethereia hung in the balance, and I was about to discover the true extent of my abilities. The landscape shifted and twisted around us like a living, breathing entity. I felt the pulse of Nefaria's power coursing through my veins, urging me forward. A low rumble shook the ground, and I saw it. A massive structure rising from the earth, its entrance guarded by an elite squad of soldiers. That was when I knew we had to act fast. With a deep breath, I outlined a plan to infiltrate the stronghold. Engineers from a nearby settlement had offered to help, providing us with crucial intel on the stronghold's layout. Our plan was simple: create a diversion, sneak into the stronghold, and retrieve the information we needed. The clock was ticking. I could feel it. The adrenaline rush was intoxicating. I was ready. Time to put our plan into action. The world seemed to hold its breath as we moved. Previously, Alex, Lyrien, and Elara had received a cryptic message from their ally, leading them to the ancient Eldrid ruins in Nefaria, where they hoped to uncover forgotten technology that could change the course of their world. They had met with Aethereia, the enigmatic leader of a secretive organization guarding the ruins, who had proposed a task in exchange for access to the archives. With a newfound sense of purpose, Alex had outlined a plan to infiltrate a heavily guarded stronghold to gather crucial intel. As we put our plan into action, the air seemed to vibrate with anticipation. Our engineers, a group of skilled individuals from the nearby settlement, had provided us with detailed schematics of the stronghold's layout. We knew the ventilation shafts were our best bet for sneaking in undetected. Lyrien gave a nod, and we set off to create the diversion. Elara would trigger a smoke bomb near the east wing, drawing the guards away from our entry point. I took a deep breath, mentally preparing myself for what lay ahead. The smoke bomb detonated, and a thick cloud of white smoke billowed into the air. We sprinted toward the ventilation shaft, our footsteps muffled by the commotion. I could hear the sound of alarms blaring in the distance and the shout of guards rushing to respond. As we reached the shaft, I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. This was it, our chance to infiltrate the stronghold. I took a moment to glance at Lyrien and Elara and saw the determination etched on their faces. We climbed into the shaft, finding ourselves in a narrow, dimly lit tunnel. The air was stale and musty, and I could hear the hum of machinery in the distance. Our engineers had warned us about the stronghold's advanced security systems, but we had to move quickly. The tunnel twisted and turned, leading us deeper into the stronghold. We encountered a few guards, but our training and quick reflexes allowed us to take them down silently. I could feel a sense of pride and confidence growing within me. We were in this together, and we were making progress. As we navigated the tunnel, I began to notice strange symbols etched into the walls. They seemed to pulse with a faint blue light, and I sensed that they might hold some significance. I made a mental note to investigate further. The tunnel eventually opened up into a large chamber filled with rows of computer terminals and data storage units. I spotted a console in the center of the room, surrounded by a halo of light. "That's our target," I whispered to Lyrien and Elara. We moved swiftly, accessing the console and downloading the data we needed. But as we worked, I sensed that we weren't alone. A figure emerged from the shadows, a woman with piercing green eyes and raven black hair. "Welcome, Alex," she said, her voice husky and confident. "I've been expecting you." I narrowed my eyes, unsure of what to make of this new player. "Who are you?" "I am Kalen, a former scientist of the Stronghold. I've been watching you from the shadows, waiting for the right moment to act." Kalen's gaze flicked to Lyrien and Elara, and I sensed a hint of curiosity in her expression. "You have friends and a cause. I can help you unlock the secrets of Eldrid." But as Kalen began to reveal her knowledge, I realized that her true intentions might be more complex than I initially thought. She seemed to possess crucial information about the ruins and the forgotten technology, but I couldn't shake the feeling that she had an ulterior motive. I decided to tread carefully, weighing the benefits of her help against the risks. For now, I chose to listen and see where this new alliance would lead. As Kalen began to explain the secrets of the Eldrid ruins, I felt a surge of excitement and hope. We might be one step closer to unlocking the secrets of Aetheria's forgotten technology. But just as we were about to leave with Kalen, the sound of alarms blared through the chamber and the lights flickered. The Stronghold's security systems had detected our presence. It seemed our diversion hadn't gone unnoticed. We had to act fast or risk being caught and eliminated. In that moment, I knew that our journey was far from over. The stakes had escalated, and I had to rely on my wits, Lyrien's strategic mind, and Elara's combat prowess to get us out alive. As we fled the stronghold, the adrenaline rush still coursing through my veins, I caught a glimpse of Kalen's determined expression. She was in this with us now, and together we might just change the course of Aetheria's history. But as we emerged into the bright sunlight, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. The Stronghold's elite squad was closing in, and I knew that our next move would be crucial. We had to find a safe haven, and fast. I spotted a nearby canyon, its entrance a narrow slit in the rocky terrain. We sprinted toward it, the sound of our pursuers growing louder. As we entered the canyon, I felt a sense of relief wash over me, for now we were safe. But I knew that this was only a temporary reprieve. We had to keep moving to find a way to unlock the secrets of Eldrid and harness the power of Aetheria's forgotten technology. The canyon twisted and turned, leading us deeper into the rocky terrain. I could hear the sound of rushing water in the distance, and I sensed that we might find an ally or a new challenge ahead. As we rounded a bend, I spotted a figure standing on the canyon wall, gazing out at the landscape. It was a young woman, her hair a wild tangle of curls, her eyes fixed on some point in the distance. She turned to face us, and I saw a spark of recognition in her eyes. "You're the one seeking the Eldrid archives," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I nodded, intrigued. "Who are you?" "I am Aethereia, a member of a hidden community that's been studying the ancient technology. We might be able to help you, but first, you need to prove your worth." Aria's words hung in the air, and I sensed that our journey was about to take a dramatic turn. We had stumbled into a new alliance, one that could change the course of our quest and our lives. With a deep breath, I nodded. "We're in. What do you need us to do?" Aria's smile grew, and she began to outline a new plan, one that would test our skills, our courage, and our resolve. But I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. As we embarked on this new journey, I felt a sense of hope rising within me. We were in this together, and together we might just uncover the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten technology. The world seemed to hold its breath, waiting for our next move. And I was ready to take the leap. Previously, Alex, Lyrien, and Elara had received a cryptic message from their ally, leading them to the ancient Eldrid ruins in Nefaria, where they hoped to uncover forgotten technology that could change the course of their world. They had met with Aethereia, the enigmatic leader of a secretive organization guarding the ruins, who had proposed a task in exchange for access to the archives. With a newfound sense of purpose, Alex had outlined a plan to infiltrate a heavily guarded stronghold to gather crucial intel. As we emerged from the canyon, Aria's plan was already in motion. She led us to a hidden entrance, and we found ourselves in a makeshift workshop filled with scattered tools and half-built contraptions. A group of engineers, Aria's allies, greeted us warmly, their faces lit up by the soft glow of workbenches. "Welcome, Alex," one of the engineers, a stout man with a bushy beard, said, extending a hand. "We've heard a lot about you. I'm Riven, and these are my colleagues." He introduced us to the team, and I shook hands with each of them, feeling a sense of gratitude for their willingness to help. Aethereia outlined the task. We needed to reactivate an ancient device hidden within the stronghold, one that would disable the security systems long enough for us to access the Eldrid archives. The catch was that the device required a specific crystal, one that was now in the possession of the stronghold's commander, Marcellus. "We've been trying to get our hands on that crystal for months," Riven said, his expression grim. "But Marcellus is a cunning man. He won't give it up easily." I nodded, my mind racing with possibilities. We had to get to Marcellus before he realized what we were after. Lyrien pulled out a map of the stronghold, and we began to plan our next move. As we strategized, I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and hope. We were no longer just a group of individuals. We were a team, united in our quest to uncover the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten technology. But just as we were about to put our plan into action, a loud explosion shook the workshop, sending tools and debris flying everywhere. The sound of alarms blared through the air, and Aria's eyes locked onto mine, filled with concern. "It's Marcellus' men," she said, her voice low and urgent. "They must have tracked us here. We need to get out of here, now." The engineers quickly scrambled to secure their equipment, and we readied ourselves for battle. Elara drew her sword, Lyrien readied his bow, and I gripped my staff, its familiar weight a comfort in the chaos. As we emerged from the workshop, we were met with a group of heavily armed guards. The fight was intense, but we worked together seamlessly, our skills honed from previous battles. I could feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins, and my senses heightened as I dodged and weaved between the guards. But just as we thought we had gained the upper hand, a figure emerged from the shadows, a tall, imposing man with a scar above his left eyebrow. He wielded a sword that seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly energy. "You are the one seeking the Eldrid archives," he said, his voice dripping with malice. "I'll make sure you never leave this place alive." The man's sword sliced through the air, and I raised my staff to defend myself. The battle was on, and I knew that our next move would determine the course of our journey. The fight was fierce, with both sides exchanging blows and neither gaining the upper hand. But I refused to give up. I thought back to my training, to the words of my mentors, and to the determination that had driven me this far. With a surge of confidence, I launched a counterattack, my staff glowing with a soft blue light. The man's sword clashed against mine, and I felt a jolt of energy run through my body. The battle raged on, but I was determined to emerge victorious. I could feel the power of the ancient technology coursing through me, guiding my movements and amplifying my strength. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the man fell to the ground, defeated. I stood panting, my chest heaving with exertion, but a sense of pride and accomplishment swelling within me. As we caught our breath, Aethereia approached me, a look of admiration on her face. "You're more than just a warrior, Alex," she said. "You have a spark within you, a spark that could ignite the flames of revolution." I smiled, feeling a sense of hope rising within me. Maybe, just maybe, we could change the course of Aethereia's history. Maybe we could uncover the secrets of the Eldrid ruins and harness the power of the forgotten technology. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my companions deeper into the unknown, the world of Aethereia waiting for us like an open book full of secrets and surprises. As we journeyed on, the landscape shifting from rocky terrain to lush forests, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. The Stronghold's elite squad was still on our tail, and I knew that our next move would be crucial. But I was no longer alone. I had Lyrien, Elara, Aethereia, and the engineers by my side. Together, we were unstoppable. The trees grew taller, and the air grew thick with an otherworldly energy. I could feel it pulsing through my veins, guiding me toward the heart of the Eldrid ruins. And then, in the distance, I saw it. A structure unlike any I had ever seen, its spires reaching toward the sky like shards of crystal. The Eldrid ruins loomed before us, a testament to the power of Aethereia's forgotten technology. I felt a sense of awe and wonder rising within me, and I knew that our journey was about to take a dramatic turn. We approached the ruins, our footsteps echoing through the stillness. The air was heavy with anticipation, and I could feel the weight of history bearing down upon us. As we entered the ruins, I was struck by the sheer scale of the ancient structure. The walls were covered in intricate carvings depicting scenes of a long-lost civilization. Aethereia led us deeper into the ruins, her knowledge of the ancient technology guiding us through the winding tunnels and chambers. We encountered strange devices, some of which seemed to still be operational. I marveled at the ancient technology, feeling a sense of wonder and curiosity. How did it work? What secrets did it hold? As we explored the ruins, I began to realize the true extent of our discovery. The Eldrid archives held more than just secrets of the past. They held the key to Aethereia's future. But we were not alone. I could feel the presence of others, lurking in the shadows, waiting for their chance to strike. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my companions deeper into the ruins, the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten technology waiting for us like a siren's call. The stakes were high, but I was no longer just a warrior. I was a leader, a hero who would inspire a brighter tomorrow in Aethereia. And I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, the courage, and the determination to change the course of history. Previously, Alex, Lyrien, and Elara had emerged victorious against the Stronghold's elite squad, but not without triggering a catastrophic explosion that sent them tumbling into a hidden underground chamber. As they regained their footing, they found themselves face to face with an ancient, glowing artifact that seemed to hold the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten technology. Aethereia's enigmatic presence and cryptic warnings had left them with more questions than answers, but one thing was certain: their journey was about to take a dramatic turn. As I gazed upon the artifact, its pulsing energy seemed to synchronize with my own heartbeat, as if it were calling to me. I felt an overwhelming sense of connection to the ancient technology, and I knew that I had to understand its secrets. But Aria's warning echoed in my mind. Be careful what you wish for, Alex. The knowledge you seek comes with a price. Lyrien's voice broke the silence, his eyes fixed on the artifact. What is this thing? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Aria stepped forward, her eyes gleaming with a mixture of curiosity and caution. This is a Kazaxian resonator, she said. It's an ancient device capable of harnessing and amplifying energy. But it's also highly unstable and requires a specific crystal to regulate its power. Elara's eyes narrowed. The crystal Marcellus has, she finished. I nodded, my mind racing with the implications. We had to get to Marcellus, but the stronghold's defenses were still intact. We needed a new plan, one that would give us access to the crystal without alerting the commander to our presence. Riven, the stout engineer, spoke up, his voice filled with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. I think I can modify the resonator to resonate at a frequency that might disrupt the stronghold's security systems. But you'll need some time to work on it. I nodded, a plan beginning to form in my mind. We'll give you the time you need, Riven. Lyrien, Elara, and Aria, let's scout the perimeter of the stronghold and see if we can find any weaknesses in their defenses. As we dispersed to begin our tasks, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were running out of time. Marcellus would not hesitate to use the crystal against us if he discovered our plan. I had to trust that Riven could work his magic and that our scouting mission would yield some valuable information. The hours ticked by, and Riven's modifications to the resonator began to take shape. Lyrien, Elara, and Aria returned with valuable intel on the stronghold's defenses, including a possible entry point through an abandoned sewer tunnel. But just as we were about to put our plan into action, a sudden tremor shook the ground, and the sound of rumbling stone echoed through the chamber. The walls began to shudder, and the air was filled with the acrid smell of dust and decay. "What's happening?" Elara cried out, her voice laced with alarm. Aria's eyes locked onto mine, a look of concern etched on her face. "The resonator," she said. "It's reacting to the energy in the artifact. We need to stabilize it, or it could destroy the entire ruins." I knew what I had to do. I took a deep breath, and with a newfound sense of confidence, I reached out to the artifact, feeling its energy coursing through me. The resonator's power surged, and I channeled it into the device, using my growing connection to the ancient technology to stabilize it. The tremors subsided, and the chamber fell silent. The air was thick with tension, but I had done it. I had taken control of the resonator, and in doing so, had discovered a new aspect of my abilities. Aria approached me, a look of admiration on her face. "You're more than just a warrior, Alex," she said. "You're a key to unlocking the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten technology." I smiled, feeling a sense of pride and purpose. We still had a long way to go, but I knew that with my companions by my side, we could overcome any obstacle. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. As we prepared to infiltrate the stronghold through the sewer tunnel, I felt a sense of hope rising within me. Maybe, just maybe, we could change the course of Aethereia's history. Maybe we could uncover the secrets of the Eldrid ruins and harness the power of the forgotten technology. The stakes were high, but I was no longer just a warrior. I was a leader, a hero who would inspire a brighter tomorrow in Aethereia. And I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, the courage, and the determination to change the course of history. We made our way through the sewer tunnel, the air thick with the smell of decay and rot, but we pressed on, our hearts pounding in our chests. We knew that we were taking a risk, but we also knew that we had to try. As we emerged from the tunnel, we found ourselves in a dimly lit corridor, the walls lined with ancient stone. We moved stealthily, our senses on high alert as we made our way deeper into the stronghold. The journey was far from over, but I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my companions deeper into the stronghold, the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten technology waiting for us like a siren's call. The darkness seemed to press in around us, but I was no longer afraid. I had faced my fears, and I had emerged victorious. I had discovered a new aspect of my abilities, and I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As we navigated the winding corridors, we stumbled upon a group of Marcellus men, their eyes cold and calculating. But we were ready. We fought bravely, our skills honed from previous battles. I could feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins, and my senses heightened as I dodged and weaved between the guards. The battle was intense, but we worked together seamlessly, our bond forged anew through trials. I could feel the power of the ancient technology coursing through me, guiding my movements and amplifying my strength. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the men fell to the ground, defeated. I stood panting, my chest heaving with exertion, but a sense of pride and accomplishment swelling within me. Aria approached me, a look of admiration on her face. "You're growing stronger, Alex," she said, "but we can't stay here for long. We need to find the crystal and get out of here before Marcellus realizes what's happening." I nodded, my mind racing with possibilities. We had to move quickly before it was too late. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my companions deeper into the stronghold, the crystal waiting for us like a beacon in the darkness. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my companions deeper into the unknown, the world of Ethereia waiting for us like an open book full of secrets and surprises. The air grew thick with tension as we approached the heart of the stronghold. I could feel the crystal's presence calling to me like a siren song. I knew that we were close, and I steeled myself for what lay ahead. The door to the crystal's chamber slid open, and I stepped forward, my heart pounding in my chest. The crystal lay before me, its facets glinting in the dim light. I reached out, feeling its power coursing through me, and then everything went black. When I came to, I found myself in a strange, dimly lit chamber. The crystal lay on a pedestal before me, but I was not alone. Marcellus stood opposite me, a sly smile spreading across his face. "Welcome, Alex," he said. "I've been expecting you. You're just in time to witness the birth of a new era in Ethereia." I glared at him, my heart burning with determination. I knew that I had to stop him, no matter what it took. The fate of Ethereia hung in the balance, and I was the only one who could tip the scales. The battle ahead would be fierce, but I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. With a newfound sense of purpose, I steeled myself for the challenge ahead, the world of Ethereia waiting for us like an open book, full of secrets and surprises. Previously, Alex had successfully stabilized the Kazixian resonator, channeling its power to prevent a catastrophic explosion, and had discovered a new aspect of his abilities, one that connected him to Ethereia's forgotten technology. Aria's words still lingered in his mind. "You're more than just a warrior, Alex," as he stood poised to face the challenges ahead. But just as they were about to infiltrate the stronghold, Marcellus' men had ambushed them, and everything had gone black. As I regained consciousness, I found myself in a luxurious, high-ceilinged chamber, the walls adorned with intricate frescoes depicting Ethereia's ancient history. The air was thick with the scent of old leather and burning incense, and I could hear the soft hum of machinery whirring in the background. Marcellus sat in a high-backed chair, the crystal cradled in his hands, its facets glinting in the dim light. "Ah, Alex, welcome to my humble abode," he said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "I see you're quite resourceful. I didn't think you'd survive the little ambush I had planned for you." I struggled to my feet, my mind racing with the implications. I was trapped, and Marcellus had the crystal. The Kazixian resonator, still resonating with my energy, seemed to be calling to me, urging me to act. Marcellus chuckled, as if reading my thoughts. Don't bother trying to get the crystal back, Alex. I've taken certain precautions. You'll find that your connection to the resonator is now being amplified, but not in a way that will help you. I gritted my teeth, feeling a surge of frustration. I had to think fast, come up with a plan to outwit Marcellus and retrieve the crystal. But as I looked around the chamber, I noticed something peculiar. A series of ancient symbols etched into the walls, pulsing with a soft, blue light. Aria's words echoed in my mind. The ancient technology holds secrets, but it also holds dangers. I realized that Marcellus must be using the crystal for some nefarious purpose, and I had to stop him. I took a deep breath, focusing on the symbols. I could feel the energy of the resonator coursing through me, and I began to understand the language of the ancient technology. The symbols were a warning, a hidden message that only I could decipher. Marcellus sneered at me, but I could see a flicker of concern in his eyes. He knew that I was more than just a warrior, and he was beginning to realize that I was a force to be reckoned with. "You see, Alex, I've been experimenting with the crystal," he said, his voice dripping with malice, "and I've made a breakthrough. With this technology, I can control the very fabric of Aethereia's energy grid. I knew that I had to act fast. I couldn't let Marcellus use the crystal to gain control over Aethereia. I steeled myself for the challenge ahead, my determination burning brighter than ever. As I began to analyze the symbols, I realized that they were a puzzle, a hidden code that required me to use my growing connection to the ancient technology. I focused my mind, channeling the energy of the resonator into the puzzle. The symbols began to glow brighter, and I felt a surge of energy coursing through me. The puzzle was complex, but I was determined to solve it. I worked tirelessly, using every ounce of knowledge and skill I possessed, and then, in a burst of insight, I understood. The symbols were a key, a hidden message that would allow me to disable Marcellus' plan and retrieve the crystal. I acted swiftly, using my newfound understanding to activate a hidden mechanism that would shut down Marcellus' operation. The chamber began to shake, and Marcellus' eyes widened in alarm. "No!" he shouted, but it was too late. The machinery whirring in the background sputtered and died, and the crystal's power surged back into me. I felt a sense of triumph, knowing that I had outwitted Marcellus and foiled his plans. But as I turned to leave, I saw something that made my heart sink. Aria stood in the shadows, her eyes locked onto mine, a look of concern etched on her face. "Alex, be careful," she whispered, before vanishing into the darkness. I was left standing alone, the crystal's power still coursing through me. I knew that I had to be careful, that Marcellus' plans were far from over. But I also knew that I had taken a crucial step towards unlocking the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten technology. As I made my way back to my companions, I couldn't shake the feeling that Aria's warning was more than just a simple caution. Something was coming, something that would test my abilities and push me to the limit, but I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. With a newfound sense of purpose, I steeled myself for the challenges ahead, the world of Aethereia waiting for me like an open book full of secrets and surprises. I emerged from the stronghold, blinking in the bright sunlight. Lyrien, Elara, and Riven were waiting for me, their faces etched with concern. "Alex, what happened?" Lyrien asked, his eyes scanning the area. I took a deep breath, summarizing the events that had transpired. Marcellus had the crystal, but I managed to disable his plan and retrieve it. Elara's eyes widened. "But at what cost?" I looked down at the crystal, still pulsing with energy. "I think we've only just begun to understand the true power of the crystal. And I have a feeling that Aria's warning is more than just a simple caution." Riven nodded, his face set in determination. "We'll stand by you, Alex. We'll face whatever challenges come our way, together." As we stood there, a sense of hope rising within me, I knew that we were more than just a group of rebels. We were a team, a family, united in our quest to unlock the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten technology. and I knew that together we would face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, the courage, and the determination to change the course of history. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was no longer afraid. I had faced my fears, and I had emerged victorious. I had discovered a new aspect of my abilities, and I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As we set off into the unknown, the world of Aethereia waiting for us like an open book, I couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and wonder. What secrets lay hidden in the ancient ruins? What challenges would we face, and how would we overcome them? One thing was certain: I was no longer just a warrior. I was a leader, a hero who would inspire a brighter tomorrow in Aethereia. And I was ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, the courage, and the determination to change the course of history. The landscape before us was treacherous, a maze of twisted canyons and jagged rock formations. But I was undaunted. I had come too far to turn back now. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my companions forward into the unknown. The world of Ethereia stretched out before us, full of secrets and surprises. And I was ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, the courage, and the determination to change the course of history. The air grew thick with tension as we journeyed deeper into the unknown. I could feel the weight of the crystal's power coursing through me, guiding my movements and amplifying my strength. And then, on the horizon, I saw it. A glimmer of light, a beacon calling to me like a siren song. The Eldrid ruins lay before us, their secrets waiting to be unlocked. I smiled, feeling a sense of hope rising within me. Maybe, just maybe, we could change the course of Ethereia's history. Maybe we could uncover the secrets of the Eldrid ruins and harness the power of the forgotten technology. The stakes were high, but I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my companions forward into the heart of the ruins. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was no longer afraid. I had faced my fears, and I had emerged victorious. I had discovered a new aspect of my abilities, and I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As we approached the ruins, I could feel the energy of the crystal coursing through me, guiding my movements and amplifying my strength. I knew that we were close, and I steeled myself for what lay ahead. The door to the ruins slid open, and I stepped forward, my heart pounding in my chest. The secrets of the Eldrid ruins lay before me, waiting to be unlocked. And I knew that I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my companions deeper into the ruins, the world of Ethereia waiting for us like an open book, full of secrets and surprises. Previously, Alex had outwitted Marcellus, disabling his plan to control Ethereia's energy grid and retrieving the crystal. Aria's warning still lingered in his mind, and he sensed that a new challenge was on the horizon. With the crystal's power coursing through him, he stood poised to face the secrets of the Eldrid ruins. As I gazed into the heart of the ruins, a shiver ran down my spine. The ancient structures seemed to hum with a gentle, ethereal energy, as if the very stones were alive. I felt an overwhelming sense of excitement and trepidation. We were on the cusp of uncovering secrets that could change the course of Ethereia's history. Lyrien, Elara, and Ribbon stood beside me, their faces set with determination. We had come too far to turn back now. With a deep breath, I led my companions into the ruins, the crystal's power guiding us through the labyrinthine corridors. The air inside was thick with dust and the whispers of the past. I could feel the weight of centuries of history bearing down upon me, and yet I was undaunted. The crystal's energy coursed through me, illuminating the path ahead. As we ventured deeper into the ruins, we stumbled upon a series of ancient artifacts, strange devices, mysterious orbs, and cryptic texts. I recognized some of the symbols etched into the walls, and I began to understand the language of the ancient technology. Elara's eyes widened as she examined an ancient console. "Alex, "I think I've found something," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I approached her, the crystal's energy amplifying my senses. The console flickered to life, displaying a cryptic message. Beneath the celestial convergence, where shadows dance and light prevails, seek the keystone. The balance of Aetheria's power hinges on this discovery. I pondered the message, my mind racing with possibilities. What was the celestial convergence, and what did it have to do with the keystone? Riven spoke up, his voice low and thoughtful. "I think I know what this might be referring to. Therese, an ancient astronomical event, a rare alignment of the stars that occurs once every century. It's said to take place at a location known as the Celestial Spire." Lyrien's eyes narrowed. "And what makes you think this is the place?" Riven consulted an ancient text. The coordinates match. The Celestial Spire is located deep within the Aetherian mountains. "I think we need to get there before the alignment occurs." I nodded, a sense of purpose burning within me. We had to find the keystone and unlock its secrets. The fate of Aethereia might depend on it. As we prepared to leave the ruins, I caught a glimpse of a figure watching us from the shadows. Aria. I approached her, my heart pounding in my chest. "Aria, what are you doing here?" Her eyes locked onto mine, a look of concern etched on her face. "I'm here to help you, Alex." "Marcellus won't stop until he claims the keystone for himself. You need to be careful." I nodded, a sense of gratitude washing over me. "Thank you, Aria. Well, be careful." Aria's gaze lingered on mine, and for a moment I thought I saw something more, a spark of connection, a glimmer of hope. And then she vanished into the shadows, leaving me with more questions than answers. We set off towards the Celestial Spire, the crystal's power coursing through me, guiding us through the treacherous landscapes. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was no longer afraid. I had faced my fears, and I had emerged victorious. As we journeyed on, the air grew thick with an otherworldly energy. I could feel the celestial convergence approaching, and I steeled myself for what lay ahead. The stakes were high, but I was ready. I had come too far to turn back now. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my companions forward into the unknown. The landscape before us was treacherous, a maze of twisted canyons and jagged rock formations. But I was undaunted. I had come too far to turn back now. As we climbed higher, the air grew thinner and the wind picked up. I could feel the celestial convergence drawing near, and I quickened my pace. And then, on the horizon, I saw it, the Celestial Spire shining like a beacon in the distance. The keystone lay within, waiting for us to claim it. But as we approached the spire, I sensed that we were not alone. A rival group, led by a mysterious figure, emerged from the shadows. Their leader, a woman with piercing green eyes, stepped forward. "You're too late," she said, her voice dripping with malice. "We've already claimed the keystone." I gritted my teeth, a surge of determination burning within me. We had come too far to turn back now. With a fierce cry, I charged forward, the crystal's power coursing through me. The battle that ensued was intense, with both sides exchanging blows and counterattacks. But I was driven by a newfound sense of purpose, and I refused to back down. In the end, it was just the two of us, the mysterious woman and I, facing off in a final, decisive duel. The outcome was far from certain, but I was ready. With a fierce cry, I launched myself at her, the crystal's power amplifying my strength. The woman was formidable, but I was driven by a sense of justice and a determination to protect Aethereia. The duel raged on, with both of us exchanging blows and counterattacks. But I had the advantage, the crystal's power coursing through me, guiding my movements and amplifying my strength. In the end, it was I who emerged victorious, the keystone glowing in my hands. The mysterious woman lay defeated, and I felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. But as I looked down at the keystone, I knew that our journey was far from over. The secrets of the Eldrid ruins still lay before us, waiting to be unlocked. and I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, the courage, and the determination to change the course of history. As we stood there, bathed in the glow of the keystone, I felt a sense of hope rising within me. Maybe, just maybe, we could change the course of Aetheria's history. Maybe we could harness the power of the forgotten technology and create a brighter future. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was no longer afraid. I had faced my fears, and I had emerged victorious. I had discovered a new aspect of my abilities, and I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. And as we set off into the unknown, the world of Aethereia waiting for us like an open book, I knew that we were more than just a group of rebels. We were a team, a family, united in our quest to unlock the secrets of Aetheria's forgotten technology. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. I was no longer just a warrior. I was a leader, a hero who would inspire a brighter tomorrow in Aethereia. And I was ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, the courage, and the determination to change the course of history.